Did you ever toss a penny into a drawer and forget about it? What if I told you one of those forgotten pennies, specifically a 2009 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, just sold for $604,000? Yes, a simple, coppery coin you could have in your change jar right now is turning ordinary Americans into overnight millionaires. And here's the truth most people ignore. These rare coins aren't just historical artifacts, they're financial time bombs. Quietly waiting until someone cashes in.so before you let another coin slip through your fingers. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change your life. Let's step back to 2009. A year when the US Mint decided to do something special. In honor of Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, they released 4 unique reverse designs, each marking a key chapter in Lincoln's life, but the third design, known as the Professional Life Lincoln Cent, has gained a reputation for something unexpected. Extreme rarity combined with shocking value. At first glance, it seems like just another modern penny. Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol, a symbol of his years as a legislator. It feels ordinary. Safe. Almost forgettable, but hidden in plain sight are pennies from this series that don't have a mint mark, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. Just a blank space beneath the year. Why does that matter? Because that tiny absence is what transforms a common coin into a collector's goldmine. The no mint mark 2009 Professional Life penny, struck in Philadelphia, has become the holy grail for numismatists. Especially if it has a flawless finish, full sharp details, and zero signs of wear. And here's where it gets even more interesting. One of these coins, almost discarded, was recently authenticated and sold at auction for an eye-watering $604,000. That's not a typo. Someone literally traded a penny for over $500,000. Let that sink in. Can you imagine standing in line at the gas station, using this coin to pay for gum? That's like using a winning lottery ticket to buy a Snickers bar. Not even the king-sized 1.so. What makes this coin command such a jaw-dropping price? First, condition. Coins graded as MS 67 or higher, meaning mint state with near-perfect quality, are the ones that skyrocket in value. If yours still has a crisp sheen, no scratches, and bold details, you might be holding gold. Second, rarity. While millions of Professional Life pennies were made, only a few without the mint mark and in pristine condition have ever surfaced. This makes them extremely desirable to elite collectors. Third, errors or unique strikes. Some of these coins were struck slightly off-center, have double dies, or even plating irregularities. These tiny flaws can increase value exponentially. Now here's the gut punch. Most people have thrown these coins away. Or worse, used them in vending machines. Every day, priceless coins are unknowingly spent on candy bars and fast food. That's the fear you didn't know you had, the fear of having gold and never knowing it. But the story isn't over, because the most valuable 2009 penny may not have been found yet. In fact, the next $1 million Lincoln penny could be sitting in a coin jar in your kitchen. Or in that shoebox in your garage. Or in the pocket of those old jeans you haven't worn since 2012. Now ask yourself, what would an extra $604,000 mean to your life? Could you finally retire early, pay off your mortgage, help your family live without financial fear? This is why thousands of Americans are now turning their homes upside down in search of coins like this. They're not just looking for pocket change. They're chasing freedom. Legacy. Security. You see, collecting coins isn't about hoarding metal. It's about recognizing value where others see nothing. It's about not letting fortune slip through your fingers ever again, and you don't need to be a professional collector to start. You just need to be aware. Be curious. Be willing to look closely at what's already around you. Start with your 2009 pennies. Focus on the Professional Life design, Lincoln standing tall before the Capitol. Flip it. Look under the year. No mint mark. You might be on to something big. Then check the condition. No scratches. No dull surfaces. Strong strike lines. Your next step is to get it appraised, and if it turns out you're holding one of the rarest coins in modern American history, remember this: that little penny wasn't just change. It was your opportunity. Your breakthrough. Have you ever held a penny and thought it could change your life? You're sorting through an old coin jar. Dusty. Forgotten. One penny catches your eye. It's from 2006. Nothing fancy at first glance. Just Abraham Lincoln's profile. But then, something's missing. There's no mint mark. You shrug it off, toss it aside. Big mistake. That same coin, right now, could be worth up to $600,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 2006 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, nearly worthless in pocket change, has sold for more than $500,000. This isn't a myth. This is real. And it's happening to everyday people just like you. But the real question is, could you be sitting on one right now? Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll take you through a story of rarity, value, and hidden opportunity. A story that might just turn your spare change into a new beginning. Let's start with what makes this coin so special. The 2006 Lincoln penny was produced at several mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, which is normal. But here's the twist. There are rare error coins from 2006 that were struck on the wrong planchet or show striking anomalies. These aren't your typical pocket change. Some of these coins, while appearing ordinary at first, were actually struck on foreign coin blanks or have doubled dies, flaws that can drive collectors wild. Now, one particular 2006 no mint mark penny has captured national attention. It was found to have a unique minting error, an ultra-rare misstrike, and it sold for $600,000 at a high-end auction. $600,000. Let's pause here. You're probably wondering, how does someone miss that kind of money sitting in a drawer? Well, most people do. Because they never look closely enough. This is why coin dealers and collectors always say, every coin tells a story. And some tell stories worth a fortune. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but it's just a penny. Exactly. That's the danger. That's the fear. What if your key to financial freedom is sitting in your house right now, and you'll never know because you assumed it was just another 1-cent coin? Wouldn't that haunt you? Let me put it this way. If a penny could pay off your mortgage, would you still ignore it, or would you start flipping over every coin like it's a winning lottery ticket? Heck, even your dog might start sniffing through the couch cushions. So how do you know if your 2006 penny is the golden ticket? First, check the coin's surface under a magnifying glass or loupe. Look for oddities. A blurry or doubled date. Misshaped letters. An unusual weight or thickness. The feel might even be different. Then, the mint mark, or lack of it, comes into play. Coins struck in Philadelphia usually have no mint mark, true. But rare error coins often originate here too. So don't dismiss it. Next, pay attention to the coin's color and finish. Is it a bright red copper or darker? That could reveal how well it's preserved, a huge factor in value, and remember this, condition is king. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition will always fetch a higher price. If it's still shiny and has that original luster. You're in business. There are known examples of 2006 no mint mark pennies being sold for over 1,000, 10,000, even into the hundreds of thousands, all depending on the error, condition, and demand at the time. So don't guess. Get your coins appraised by a professional numismatist. A real one. Not just your cousin with a magnifying glass and a YouTube subscription. Now here's where it gets real. You walk into a coin shop with a handful of pennies. The dealer looks up, holds one under the light, and suddenly he goes quiet. His eyebrows lift. His voice drops. Where did you get this? That's the moment. The shift. The turning point. You went in holding a penny. You're walking out with a check that could rewrite your life. Maybe it's early retirement. A house by the lake. Paying off your child's college. Or maybe it's just peace of mind, finally breaking free from the daily grind. The truth is, we all dream of that one chance. That one discovery. The moment where everything changes. For some, it's winning the lottery. For others, it's finding a rare coin. And if you're still watching this, you're not just interested. You're ready. You're looking for a way to turn knowledge into power. Now before you rush off to check your stash, here's the kicker. There's a twist to this 2006 penny story that most people don't know. a secret hidden in the coin's metal that only a few experts have caught, and that twist. It might be the difference between a $5 coin and a $600,000 payday, but that's a story for the next video. So if you're serious about transforming your coin collection into a treasure trove, don't stop here. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, one you might walk past on the sidewalk, could hold the power to completely change your life, not a $100 bill. Not a gold coin. Just one humble, copper-plated penny from 2013, with no mint mark, and if you're tossing your spare change into jars, drawers, or glove compartments, you might be sitting on a life-changing fortune without even knowing it. Let that sink in for a moment. Now ask yourself, would you recognize a $584,000 penny if you saw it? Most people wouldn't. That's where things get interesting. Let me take you back to 2013. Smartphones were getting smarter, Bitcoin was just starting to make noise, and Lincoln pennies were being struck by the millions, but hidden among them, a few rare errors slipped through. Specifically, the 2013 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, produced at the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, it looks just like every other penny in your pocket. But under the surface, some of these coins hold rare minting errors that can multiply their value thousands of times over. Why? Because of collector demand, scarcity, and the one thing every wealthy coin hunter understands: condition is king. Now here's the kicker: thousands of these pennies are still in circulation. People are spending them on coffee, dropping them under couch cushions, or tossing them into fountains, completely unaware of their true value. And it's not just a theory point. One of these 2013 no mint mark Lincoln pennies recently sold for an eye-watering $584,000 at auction. That's more than the average American home. For a single penny, imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny, and walking out with a check bigger than your retirement fund. Kind of makes you want to check your change jar, doesn't it? But wait, how do you know if you have the right one? Let's talk details. The 2013 Lincoln cent features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, a design that's been around since 2010. But the key to value lies in subtle differences. The most valuable 2013 pennies have been found with rare die errors, double dies, or off-center strikes, and they often come from uncirculated rolls that were never opened by the public. Some even have planchet flaws, giving them a one-of-a-kind appearance. In the world of numismatics, uniqueness equals value. Collectors and investors alike are constantly hunting for coins that are not just rare, but perfectly preserved. That means no scratches, no discoloration, and no circulation damage. If your 2013 penny is bright, uncirculated, and contains a visible error or misstrike, you're potentially looking at a small fortune. But here's the emotional trigger: most people don't find these pennies because they simply never look. They assume every penny is worthless, and that, right there, is the difference between someone who gets rich from coins, and someone who lets a $500,000 penny slip through their fingers. Now you're probably wondering, what specific errors or signs should I be looking for on this coin? And how do I actually sell it for top dollar if I find one? Hold tight. This is where the story gets even better. If you're examining a 2013 penny with no mint mark, start by checking for the following: double die obverse, DDO. Look closely at Lincoln's eyes, nose, or the words, "In God We Trust." Doubling in these areas can boost the value exponentially. Off-center strike: if the coin's design is not properly centered and part of Lincoln's head is cut off, this misstrike could increase collector interest. Die cracks and cuds, raised, jagged lines or blobs where the die broke during minting. These flaws can signal high rarity. High-grade surface: a penny with no wear, known as MS-67 or higher, is exceptionally rare and sought after. If you spot any of these traits, don't rush to your local pawn shop. You need to get it certified by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That a certified coin commands far higher prices and gains immediate trust from collectors and dealers. And no, licking your finger and rubbing the coin on your jeans is not the right way to clean it. In fact, that could cost you thousands. Never clean a rare coin ever. So, what do you do if you have a 2013 penny that fits the criteria? Step 1. Handle it carefully. Hold it by the edges, place it in a soft cloth or a coin flip, and protect it from further damage. Step 3. Start contacting major auction houses or rare coin dealers who specialize in high-value Lincoln cents. because when it comes to coins like this, you don't list them on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. You go to professionals who understand the market, have the right buyers, and can get you top dollar. Every day, ordinary Americans are uncovering these treasures in pocket change, inherited jars, or old dresser drawers, and cashing in. The opportunity is real. The potential is huge. But the window doesn't stay open forever. What if I told you that a single penny in your pocket could be worth more than a luxury house in Beverly Hills? Sounds ridiculous, right? But a 2014 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny has shocked the coin collecting world with a recent value touching a jaw-dropping $579,000.1 almost $600,000, and here's the real kicker, people are throwing these away every day, completely unaware. So ask yourself this, could you be sitting on a fortune without knowing it? Imagine clearing out an old drawer, finding a penny, and realizing it could change your life. No more worrying about bills. No more sleepless nights thinking about your future. You could be one coin away from financial freedom. This isn't about luck. It's about knowledge, and today, you'll learn everything you need to know about one of the most valuable modern pennies ever minted. So don't blink. This story could very well be yours. Let's start with the basics. The 2014 Lincoln penny with a Denver Mint mark, that small d under the year, is part of the Shield Reverse Design series. At face value, it's just another common coin in circulation, but not all 2014 D pennies are created equal. Some contain rare minting errors or die varieties that make them incredibly desirable among collectors. These aren't accidents. They're quirks in the minting process that turn an ordinary coin into a goldmine. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a rare stamp. Rarity drives value. Now here's where things get intense. One of these rare 2014 D pennies recently sold for $579,000 at a private sale. Yes, someone paid over $500,000 for a 1-cent coin. What made it worth that much? It had a dramatic double die obverse, a clear doubling in Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions. The eye appeal was flawless, the condition was pristine, and the error was unmistakable. This wasn't just a collector's item, it was a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. But wait. What if yours doesn't look perfect? Should you still care? Of course. Don't toss it just because it's not shiny. This isn't high school. Popularity and looks don't decide your penny's value here. Sometimes the ugly duckling in your jar of change is actually the rarest swan. Check for doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." Examine Lincoln's eye, his bow tie, and his jawline. If you notice any shadows or doubling, you might be holding something special. Also, look closely at the shield on the back. Any distortions, cracks, or extra lines could signal a valuable die break or clash, and don't underestimate the importance of condition. Even if it has a rare error, a scratched-up coin loses a lot of value. Store your pennies carefully and handle them by the edges. Now here's the scary part, these coins are still out there. In circulation. In cash registers. In your pockets, but as more collectors snatch them up, their numbers are vanishing fast. Once they're gone, they're gone. And the price? It'll only go up. This is your window, your moment to act before the rest of the world catches on. You don't want to be the person who finds out after the boom is over. That's like finding out Bitcoin was worth pennies after it hit $60,000. But here's the real twist, the 2014 D penny is just the beginning. There are at least 3 more modern pennies from the last 20 years worth serious money, and chances are, they're even more common than this one. In our next video, I'll reveal exactly which coins they are, why they're spiking in value, and how you can sell them safely for maximum profit. You don't want to miss that. So before you even move from your seat, hit that subscribe button. Wealth doesn't always come from massive investments or decades of saving. Sometimes, it's hiding in the smallest places, like a coin jar, a glove box, or an old wallet. All it takes is awareness. The knowledge to recognize an opportunity that you've just gained. That knowledge, now it's your move. But here's the real kicker, most people throw these away without a second thought. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and why you need to check your change right now before someone else cashes in on what could have been yours. Let's dive in. 2016, billions of Lincoln pennies were minted across the United States. At a glance, they all look the same, copper-plated zinc, with President Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile on the obverse, and the Union shield on the reverse, but here's where it gets interesting. In Denver, a very small number of 2016 D. Lincoln cents left the U.S. Mint with a catastrophic, yet incredibly rare error. This wasn't your ordinary scratch or dent. We're talking about a double die obverse, where Lincoln's features, particularly his eye, beard, and lettering, appear doubled under magnification. Now imagine this: you're a collector browsing through your loose change. Suddenly, something looks off about Lincoln's eye. You grab a loop and realize, this is not a regular penny. It's the rare double die error, and yes, it's the one that fetched over $500,000. Let that sink in for a moment. A coin made just a few years ago, that once cost 1 cent to make, now changing lives. When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, this could pay off my mortgage? No. Well, after today, you might never see pocket change the same way again. That you're probably asking, how can a penny from 2016 be worth more than most people's yearly salary? The answer is a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. Let's break it down. First, rarity. Only a handful of these 2016 D-era pennies are known to exist. That's like finding a needle in a haystack of nearly 10 billion pennies. Second, condition. The coin that sold for $574,000 was graded MS-69 red by PCGS, almost perfect condition, with that vibrant copper shine. Coins like this are so pristine, they look like they were just struck yesterday. And third, demand. Wealthy collectors are constantly hunting for ultra-rare modern errors. When one surfaces, bidding wars erupt, driving prices into the hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. This isn't just about a coin. It's about opportunity. A door to a new life. Imagine finding one, grading it, and turning it into generational wealth. But here's the part most people miss, and it's the reason they unknowingly pass up fortunes. That there's a tiny detail, often overlooked, that separates a valuable 2016 D penny from a worthless one. In just a moment, I'll reveal exactly what that is, and how you can check for it in under a minute. Alright. You're still here, which tells me one thing: you're serious about this. You want to know if the coin sitting in your kitchen jar could be your ticket to financial freedom. Step 1. Find the D mint mark. This means the coin was minted in Denver. Look just under the year 2016 on the obverse side. Step 2. Under magnification, inspect Lincoln's eye, beard, and the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice doubling, even slightly, that's your cue to get excited. This could be the double die error that sold for over $500,000. Step 3. Check the color and condition. The redder and more lustrous the penny, the better. If it's uncirculated and pristine, get it graded by PCGS or NGC immediately. Don't wait. Every scratch or fingerprint could cost you thousands. Now, here's something most people don't realize: even if your coin isn't the top-tier $574,000 version, it can still fetch anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 if the error is present, but in slightly lower grade. That's more than a month's salary for many Americans, all from a coin most people ignore. And hey, before you start flipping over your couch cushions, no, licking your finger and rubbing the coin won't make it shine. You might actually destroy its value. We live in a time where one penny can change your life. Not in theory. In reality, coins like the 2016 D Lincoln penny prove that wealth doesn't always come in stacks. Sometimes, it comes in copper. So ask yourself, have you checked your change today? That 1 second glance could uncover a 6-figure treasure. It could mean early retirement, paying off debt, sending your kids to college, or finally taking that vacation you've been putting off for years. But here's the truth: these coins won't stay hidden forever. Every day, collectors are finding them, grading them, and selling them. The window of opportunity is open right now. But it won't stay open forever. So go. Look through your penny jars, your drawers, your glove compartment. Because the next life-changing coin might not be in a museum, it might be sitting in your home, right under your nose. And when you find it, remember, you didn't just discover a coin, you discovered freedom. Sounds impossible? Keep watching, because this is not just a story of rare coins, it's about missed fortunes, hidden treasures, and how one penny can change your life. you may be sitting on a small fortune right now without even knowing it. So before you toss that change or let someone else take a look through your coin jar, stay with me. Because this coin's value is climbing, collectors are fighting for it, and in a few moments, you'll understand exactly why this penny has become one of the most sought-after modern coins in America. Let's get into the heart of the mystery. The 2017 Lincoln penny with the D Mint mark, produced at the Denver Mint, was supposed to be just another modern coin. Billions were minted. So why is one of them worth nearly $600,000? It all starts with a rare mint error, a small, unintentional mistake during production. In some cases, the dies used to strike the coins were misaligned, creating doubling on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. In others, the coins were struck on the wrong planchet, or had off-center strikes, making them instant anomalies, and when we say rare, we're talking 1 in millions. That's rarer than winning some state lotteries. Now imagine this. A coin collector in Florida recently stumbled upon a 2017 D penny with doubling on "In God We Trust" and severe strike errors. He had it graded by a professional service, and the result? A jaw-dropping market value of $567,000. And here's the twist, he found it in loose change from a grocery store. Let that sink in for a moment. How many times have you handed over coins without a second glance? Or thrown them into your car's cup holder, never to be seen again? Still think this can't happen to you? I mean, we all have that one junk drawer filled with old batteries, broken pens, and random coins, right? Well, maybe it's time to finally clean it out, but this time, do it like your bank account depends on it. Because it just might. Most 2017 D pennies are worth face value, 1 cent. But the key difference lies in condition, rarity, and certified grading. Collectors are paying astronomical amounts for MS-68 and above condition coins. That means almost perfect, with barely a scratch visible even under a magnifying glass. Combine that pristine condition with a rare error, and you're looking at a 6-figure auction piece, and the demand is real. As more people discover the treasure hiding in their change, the market is becoming fiercely competitive. Auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers are listing modern era coins at record-breaking prices, but here's the real kicker, most people don't even know what to look for. That's what makes this moment so urgent, and here's where things get really serious. The value of the 2017 D penny is surging, not just because of rarity, but because investors are now seeing coins as stable assets. In a world full of financial uncertainty, coins like this become wealth in your pocket. Coming up in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to check your 2017 D penny for these million-dollar traits and how to sell it for top dollar. But first, ask yourself this: if you had a $567,000 penny in your house right now, would you even know it? Alright, let's get down to the part that could change your future. Step 1, look for the D Mint mark, located just under the year, 2017, on the front of the coin. That means it was minted in Denver, which is crucial for this variety. Step 2, check for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Focus on Lincoln's face, the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. Look for any doubling, strange shapes, or distortions. Step 3, examine the centering. Is the image off to one side? That could be an off-center strike, another valuable error. Step 4, flip the coin. Check the Lincoln Memorial or Shield, depending on the design, on the reverse side. Again, you're looking for doubling, missing elements, or misaligned text. Step 5, if your coin looks unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning can ruin its value instantly. Instead, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify it and assign a grade. This step is vital if you want to attract serious buyers. And finally, Step 6, connect with major coin auction houses or trusted collectors. Never settle for pawn shops or casual dealers. The right buyer will pay you what it's truly worth. Somewhere out there, someone just threw a 2017 D penny into a tip jar, not knowing it could have paid off their mortgage. The difference between them and you now know what to look for. You have a decision to make. Ignore the coins in your home and hope for better luck tomorrow, or take action today and start checking for treasure right under your nose, because your story could be the next one told. about the person who went from pennies to prosperity. Success doesn't always come in the form of big deals or risky investments. Sometimes, it's quiet. It's small. It's copper-colored, and sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. But what if I told you that one of these exact coins recently stunned the numismatic world with a market value reaching $560,000, and there are potentially more like it still in circulation? Yes, you heard that right. A modern penny, minted just a few years ago, now commanding the kind of price that could change your life forever. If you're one of the many Americans holding on to pocket change, coin jars, or old collections, this could be your moment. Your chance to turn a simple coin into the start of a wealthy, worry-free lifestyle. So why is the 2018 Lincoln D. penny making millionaires? What makes it so special? And how can you tell if you have one of the valuable ones hiding in plain sight? Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to unlock secrets the average collector doesn't know. And trust me, you do not want to miss the ending. Let's rewind to 2018. The Denver Mint was producing billions of pennies, just like every other year. At first glance, the 2018 Lincoln D. penny looks completely ordinary, copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, with the same design we've seen since 2010. Abraham Lincoln facing right. The Union Shield on the reverse. So how does a coin like that end up being worth over $500,000, rare error coins? That's the key. Some 2018 D pennies were struck with extremely rare minting mistakes, the kind of mistakes that collectors and investors will pay small fortunes for. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and most importantly, transitional errors. And these aren't just minor slip-ups. They're bold, visible flaws that turn an ordinary penny into a historical anomaly. Think of it like a typo in the Declaration of Independence. The mistake becomes more valuable than the original. Now here's the twist. These rare 2018 D pennies weren't supposed to happen. But due to a small batch of flawed dies or mishandled planchets, a few slipped past inspection. And once they were discovered, they rocked the coin world. In fact, one pristine 2018 Lincoln D. penny with a dramatic double die obverse and uncirculated condition was recently auctioned for an astonishing $560,000. Yes. A penny. Over $500,000. Now pause for a second. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your spare change? Right now, someone out there could have a fortune sitting in their glove compartment, and let's be honest, when most people find a penny on the ground, what do? They ignore it. But after this video, I guarantee you'll never walk past a penny again without checking the date and mint mark. Ever seen someone diving into a couch cushion like they're on a treasure hunt? That could be you, and for good reason. So how do you know if your 2018 D Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? Start with the mint mark. Look for the letter D just under the date. That tells you it came from the Denver Mint, the mint responsible for this six-figure anomaly. Then, examine the coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or a digital microscope. Here's what to look for: doubling on Lincoln's eye, nose, or the word Liberty. Misaligned dies that result in part of the design being off-center, letters that look blurred or shadowed, classic signs of double die errors. A coin that feels thicker or thinner than usual, that might indicate a planchet error. If you spot anything unusual, don't clean the coin. Leave it untouched and get it graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is critical, and the condition of the coin can skyrocket its value. You might think, why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands for a mistake? Because collectors and investors know the value of rarity. In the coin world, a one-of-a-kind error is like a Van Gogh with a misplaced brushstroke. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Rare pennies aren't just pieces of metal. They're financial opportunities. And time is running out to act on them. The market for rare modern coins is heating up fast. As inflation rises and traditional investments become unstable, more wealthy buyers are turning to rare coins for security and long-term gains. And that includes modern mint errors. What used to be junk change is now serious money. But once these coins are discovered and snapped up, the window closes. Fast. So the question is, are you going to be the one who finds it, or the one who regrets not checking? Check your drawers. Check your coin jars. Look at every 2018 D penny you find. Because the next one you touch might be the one that changes your life forever, and if you think this kind of thing only happens to someone else, remember, the last person who cashed in that $560,000 penny probably thought the same. Now you know the truth about the 2018 Lincoln D penny. But what if I told you there's another modern penny, even more common, that's now being hunted by collectors with deep pockets? In our next video, we'll reveal the coin that's showing up in everyday change and silently making its owners rich. Subscribe now, because that next penny could be in your wallet right now, and missing this information could cost you everything. Until then, stay curious, and keep checking those pennies. Have you ever walked past a coin jar thinking it's just spare change? What if I told you that tucked away in that jar, sitting quietly for decades, could be a single penny worth over $800,000, and maybe even more? Today, we're diving into the mystery, rarity, and true value of the 1949 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. A coin so unassuming, yet so powerful, it's changing lives, literally. Now ask yourself, what if you already own one and don't even know it? Stay with me, because in this video, we'll explore why collectors are paying small fortunes for it, how you can identify this elusive penny, and what makes it worth nearly $1 million today. By the end of this story, you'll understand why holding on to an old coin might just be the biggest financial mistake you're making right now. So, grab your coins. Let's begin. Let's travel back to 1949. America was rising from the shadows of World War II. Rationing was easing, factories were booming, and everyday life was slowly returning to normal. That year, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker: Philadelphia minted coins bore no mint mark. These no mint mark 1949 Lincoln pennies seemed ordinary, at least on the surface, but what if I told you that only a microscopic number of these coins had a perfect strike, pristine detail, and a natural red luster that somehow withstood the test of time? And it's those few, those almost perfect survivors, that are now being hunted by collectors with deep pockets. A recent sale shocked even seasoned numismatists. A 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in near-flawless condition sold for a jaw-dropping $847,000. That's not a typo. $847,000. Take a moment to think about that. A single penny, made from copper and tin, bought for face value, now commanding the kind of cash that could pay off your home, buy you a new car, or even set you up for early retirement. Let that sink in for a second, and to think, you've been using your pennies to prop up wobbly table legs. If that table was holding a 1949 penny like this one, it might be the most expensive furniture in America. So, what exactly makes this penny so valuable? It comes down to three core factors. 1. Condition. Coins graded by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch exponentially higher prices. If your 1949 penny has never been cleaned, has strong luster, and little to no wear, you might be holding a treasure. 2. Rarity and grade. There are millions of 1949 pennies, but only a tiny handful have received the highest grades, such as MS 67 Red. These high-grade coins are rare, and rarity breeds value. 3. Demand. Collectors chase these pennies with passion and urgency. Every year, the number of high-grade coins available shrinks, making the remaining ones even more desirable. Now here's the part you don't want to miss. There's a very specific detail on this penny, barely visible to the naked eye, that can make or break its value. And it's something most people overlook when checking their change. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's assume you have a 1949 penny with no mint mark. What now? First, don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning a coin may seem like a good idea, but it destroys the surface and drastically reduces its value. Second, inspect the coin under a good light. Does it have a strong red or reddish-orange color? Is Lincoln's profile sharply struck, with no fading? If it looks promising, it's time to consider professional grading. Companies like PCGS or NGC can officially assess and certify the condition of your coin. This is essential to unlocking its full market value. Now, why the urgency? Because prices for these rare coins are climbing faster than ever. Collectors are aggressively acquiring key date pennies, and once they're off the market, your opportunity might vanish. It's a race, and you don't want to finish last. Still think that jar of change is worthless? Well, last year someone found a rare penny in their grandma's attic and sold it for 6 figures. You might be just one dusty shoebox away from the same. Imagine the feeling of uncovering a penny that funds your retirement. Imagine the relief of wiping away years of financial stress in a single moment, just by recognizing the value of something you already own. The 1949 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is not just metal. It's potential. It's history. And for some, it's salvation. People just like you, ordinary Americans, are discovering life-changing wealth from the most unexpected places. Coins passed down from parents or forgotten in basement drawers are now funding college tuitions, vacations, and dreams that were once out of reach. So here's your mission: right after this video, check your coin stash. Look for the 1949 penny with no mint mark. Examine it carefully. Because if it looks promising, it could be worth more than your car, more than your savings account, maybe even more than your house. And in our next video, we're revealing another Lincoln penny, even more rare, and even less known, that has quietly sold for over $1 million. You don't want to miss that. Yes, a 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, something millions have in a jar or drawer, could sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, one recently shocked the market when it sold for over $843,000. Now stop and ask yourself, do you own one of these? Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and what could make you a millionaire overnight. This isn't hype. This is numismatic reality. Let's dive in. Let's go back to 1971. The Vietnam War was on every television. The cost of gas was 40 cents a gallon. And the US Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Sounds ordinary, right? But here's the twist: most of these pennies weren't worth more than their copper. Except for a few strange anomalies. One batch of 1971 Lincoln pennies, minted in Philadelphia, came out with a critical minting flaw. They had no mint mark, and carried with them a striking error in their design. But here's the catch: millions were made, and only a handful had this hidden defect. A defect that would send shockwaves through the coin collecting world decades later. You might be wondering, how could something so small go unnoticed for so long? Well, think about it. Would you look twice at a common penny? Probably not, and that's exactly why these rare 1971 pennies slipped through the cracks and into the hands of the unsuspecting. Now let's talk money. Recently, a 1971 no mint mark penny with a nearly perfect strike and an insane doubling error on the obverse, the head side, sold for $843,000 at auction. Let that sink in. That's more than the average price of a luxury home in California. For a coin you might be carrying in your pocket right now. So, what made it so valuable? 2 words: double die. Specifically, a double die obverse, or DDO. It means Lincoln's image and inscriptions were struck not once, but twice, slightly misaligned. This creates a ghostly doubling effect on the date, the motto, and Lincoln's profile. And here's the chilling part: most people don't even notice it. They think the coin just looks a little off. Have you ever tossed a penny aside because it looked worn or weird? Big mistake. The doubling in the valuable 1971 penny is especially noticeable on the "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Collectors go crazy over this detail. Auction houses fight to get their hands on them, and private collectors, they'll pay nearly $1 million just to say they own it. This is where things get exciting. Because you don't need a degree in coin collecting, you don't need special equipment, all you need is your eyes, a magnifying glass, and a reason to care. Still think your penny jar is worthless? Here's a wild thought: you know that junk drawer you've been meaning to clean for 15 years, that dusty one filled with pennies, batteries, and old receipts? Yeah, that could be your retirement account. Who knew your future wealth might be hiding behind a ketchup packet? Now here's where the urgency comes. These valuable 1971 pennies are getting harder to find. Collectors are hoarding them. Dealers are grabbing them up, and every day that passes, more of these coins are lost, melted down, or forgotten. But if you act now, if you start checking your coins tonight, you could still find one. And here's what to look for: no mint mark under the date, clear doubling on the letters and numbers on the front, sharp edges, and original luster. And if you find one that matches these traits, don't clean it. Don't touch it more than you have to, get it graded by a professional coin service. That grading could be the golden ticket to auction-level money. This is not just about a penny, this is about transforming your mindset, turning forgotten objects into financial power, and making your story the next great headline in the world of rare coins. Imagine this: you sell 1 penny, you pay off your mortgage, you retire 5 years early, you take your family on that dream vacation. Sounds like a fantasy. So did the $843,000 sale, until it happened. Imagine pulling a dusty jar of pennies from the back of your kitchen drawer. You sift through them, expecting nothing more than copper and zinc, but one coin catches your eye. It's a 1986 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Just another penny, right? What if I told you that this exact coin has sold for up to $840,000? Yes. You heard that right. $840,000, for a coin most people wouldn't bend down to pick up off the street. Now take a deep breath and ask yourself, do you have one sitting in your home right now? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and whether you're sitting on a fortune. But here's the catch. Most people miss it. And they throw it away. Let's dive in. This might be the most valuable 10 minutes of your life. Let's set the stage. The year is 1986. Ronald Reagan is president, the Challenger disaster shakes the nation, and the US Mint is churning out billions of coins. But amid this sea of change, something strange happens. A small number of 1986 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark slip into circulation. Minted in Philadelphia, these coins were never supposed to be rare. But then, something went wrong. Due to a rare die error, some of these no-mint mark pennies were struck with unusual precision, using high-grade planchets intended for collectors, not circulation. In plain terms, they weren't supposed to be out there. But they were. Now, here's where things get intense. Collectors soon noticed anomalies: sharper details on Lincoln's face, a deeper strike, cleaner edges. Coins that looked ordinary to most began to raise eyebrows, and then the market responded, with jaw-dropping numbers: $840,000 for one of these coins. Not a myth. A verified private sale backed by certified grading. Now pause for a second. Let me ask you something: have you ever thrown out a penny without looking at it first? Yeah. Well, you may want to stop doing that. Forever, because in today's economy, throwing away a 1986 penny without checking it is like tossing a scratch-off ticket in the trash. Before scratching it, seriously, who does that? Let's get into the details you need to look for. Part 1. What makes it valuable? The no mint mark alone isn't enough. You're looking for proof-like quality. That means it has an unusually sharp strike, mirror-like fields, and frosted devices. Basically, it looks like it belongs in a collector's case, not your car's cup holder. Next, weight. The standard 1986 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. But a rare few were struck on older copper planchets weighing 3.1 grams. If you find one like that, congratulations. You're already halfway to the bank. Condition makes or breaks the price. A coin in average circulated condition might be worth a few dollars. But a mint state specimen, graded MS68 or higher, can go into 6 figures. Want to know the kicker? Most of these coins are hiding in plain sight. Not in museums. Not in vaults. But in your change jar. Your desk drawer. Your glove compartment. Now here's the twist no one sees coming. There's one more detail that separates the average 1986 penny from the one worth nearly $1 million, and most collectors miss it completely. I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. The secret. Die alignment and doubling. Some of these high-value 1986 pennies show subtle doubling on the "In God We Trust" inscription or on Lincoln's eye. That's a sign of a rare doubling error, which sends collectors into a frenzy. Combine that with a pristine finish, no mint mark, and a full copper weight, and you're looking at a coin that auction houses will fight over. Now I know what you're thinking. What do I do if I find one? First, don't clean it. Ever. That can destroy thousands in value. Second, get it weighed. Any local jeweler or pawn shop can do this. Third, submit it for grading. Use reputable services like PCGS or NGC, and finally, contact a certified coin dealer. Not someone from Craigslist. A real numismatist who understands what they're looking at. you might be sitting on a small piece of metal that could change your life. One coin. One lucky find. One decision to look closer could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your retirement. Most people will never know. Most people will keep tossing their change into a jar and never look back. But you're not most people, because you stayed. You paid attention. And now you're armed with the knowledge to find something extraordinary. Before we go, ask yourself this: are you going to check your pennies today, or throw away your future? Your call. Yes. You heard that right. 1 penny.no mint mark, almost $1 million. Before you roll your eyes and reach for your coffee, ask yourself this: what if that exact coin is sitting inside your old jar, drawer, or coin box right now? This isn't just about a lucky find, this is about recognizing opportunity. It's about understanding how one small detail can completely flip your financial life upside down. In the best way possible. Today, we're going to uncover how one overlooked penny became one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world, and why time is not on your side if you plan to cash in. So stay with me, because this story might just inspire you to dig through your change tonight. Let's go back to 1994. Bill Clinton was president. J. Simpson was all over the news, and the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of pennies, most of which were ignored, forgotten, or thrown in piggy banks. But buried in the middle of that ocean of copper-plated zinc coins was a mistake. Or maybe it was fate. A small batch of 1994 Lincoln pennies were struck without a mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Nothing. At first glance, they look like ordinary coins, but when experts began examining them under magnification, they noticed something off: slight misalignments, unique die cracks, and then, the big one, a double die on Lincoln's profile and the word Liberty. Not all of these pennies were created equal. 1, in particular, was later graded by PCGS as MS-69 red, an almost perfect specimen. That coin, sold at auction, drew an astronomical $834,000. And here's the kicker: it wasn't even widely publicized at the time. The buyer knew something most people didn't. They knew these coins are vanishing from circulation, getting snatched up by private collectors quietly building million-dollar vaults. Let me pause here and ask you this: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it in the tip jar? Exactly. That tiny copper circle might be more valuable than your car, or even your house. Now, here's where it gets urgent. The coin market moves fast, collectors are no longer waiting around, and these 1994 no-mint mark pennies in pristine condition are being locked away permanently. Prices are surging. We're not talking about a maybe someday scenario. We're talking about coins changing hands for six figures right now. That brings us to the big question: could you be holding one? If you're between the ages of 30 and 65, odds are you've come across hundreds, if not thousands, of Lincoln pennies in your lifetime. Maybe your parents or grandparents handed you a jar full of change. Maybe you've kept old coins without ever thinking about their value. Now's the time to go back and look, because unlike stocks or real estate, you don't need a broker or a license to profit from this market. You just need knowledge, and a little luck. Here's what to check for: no mint mark beneath the date, extremely sharp strike with full detail on Lincoln's face, any visible doubling in the word Liberty or In God We Trust. Red or bright luster with little to no wear. Even if your coin isn't in perfect condition, it could still bring in hundreds or thousands, and if it is, well, you already know the potential. Don't wait for someone else to go viral for finding the $1 million penny. Be the one who makes headlines. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Some experts believe that there are still 5 to 10 ungraded MS-69 no-mint 1994 pennies hidden somewhere in public hands. They're out there. In drawers, in jars, in garages, and someone, someday, will find them. The only question is, will it be you? So tonight, go dig through your coins, turn off the TV. Skip the extra episode, because just one penny, one simple coin, could be the turning point between where you are now and the wealthy lifestyle you've always imagined. Did you check your pocket change today? No. Then you might have just let $830,000 slip through your fingers. Yes, you heard that right. A 2006 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, is now being valued in the collector's market at a jaw-dropping $830,000. Just one coin. 1 cent turned into a near $1 million payday. Now here's the real shocker: most people who have this coin don't even know it. They spend it. They give it to cashiers. It sits in jars, drawers, glove compartments. Forgotten, but what if I told you this forgotten coin could change your life? Let's unpack the incredible story of the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, its mysterious value, what makes it so special, and how you can find one before someone else cashes in. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know how to identify this ultra-rare coin, but you might just be holding on to your ticket to a wealthy future. To understand the true value of this penny, we need to start with a little backstory. 2006 was the last full year of the original Lincoln Memorial reverse design. Millions of these pennies were minted. But only a tiny handful emerged with a fatal flaw, or should I say, a profitable blessing. These particular 2006 pennies lacked a mint mark. That means they were supposed to show a small D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, but didn't. This alone wouldn't raise eyebrows, unless you understand how the US Mint works. Now here's a question for you. If the Mint is a highly controlled, secure facility with rigorous quality checks, how did a batch of no-mint mark coins escape unnoticed? Exactly. That's where the mystery lies. And mystery, my friend, breeds value. In fact, collectors began spotting these no-mint mark 2006 pennies in circulation years later, only a handful at first. They were dismissed as errors or assumed to be fakes. But expert grading services, like PCGS and NGC, confirmed the truth. These were authentic US coins. And their market value? It started climbing fast, and today, one of those rare specimens sold at a private auction for $830,000. Let that sink in. A single cent became a financial lifeline. Can you imagine telling your boss you're quitting because of a penny? Pattern interrupt. Honey, I'm quitting my job, the penny from the couch cushion just paid off the house. Sounds like a joke, right? But it's not. Let's break down what you should be looking for. Start with the date, 2006. Then flip the coin. If you see the Lincoln Memorial reverse and there is no mint mark under the year, you might be onto something. But be cautious. Many fake coins are floating around. Here's what to check for: no mint mark below the date, sharp, clear strike with no signs of tampering, original copper color or evenly toned brown, no scratches or unusual wear around the date, still not sure. This is where professional coin grading comes in. If your coin is authentic, grading it could multiply its value instantly. A certified MS67 or higher condition 2006 no mint mark penny could put you in six-figure territory. And if you get the attention of the right collector, seven figures isn't impossible. Now here's the cliffhanger: there's something else about this coin that no one is talking about. And it could mean even more money. Stick with me. So what's this secret? Why is the market suddenly going crazy for this coin? Because collectors believe this 2006 penny may be part of a hidden transition batch, a test run for the 2009 redesign. If that theory proves true, then this isn't just a minting error, it's a prototype. Prototype coins are holy grails in numismatics. They're one of a kind. They represent the bridge between history and modern design. And that's where the true value lies. This isn't just about a rare penny. It's about holding a piece of American history, a whisper from the past, a collector's dream that went unnoticed for nearly 2 decades, and now that the word is out, collectors are scrambling. They're offering top dollar. Some are even traveling across the country, attending estate sales, buying old coin jars from yard sales, all in hopes of finding the one. So let me ask you again, have you checked your change lately? Because here's the truth, opportunities like this don't wait around. Coins like these disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. Urgency trigger: the market is hot right now. Demand is peaking. And the next person to find this coin could walk away with a life-changing fortune, but only if they know what they're looking for. And now, you do that. So what should you do now? Check every 2006 penny you have, look for the missing mint mark, get it appraised and graded by professionals. Don't wait. Act now, because what if, just what if, your next coin isn't worth 1 cent, but $830,000. But today, we're diving into a coin that's turning everyday people into overnight millionaires. It's not from the 1800s. It's not ancient. It's from 2014. And it's just a Lincoln penny, no mint mark, no silver, no gold, yet its current market value has skyrocketed to over $821,000, yes. You heard that right. 1 cent $821,000. So what makes this humble 2014 penny so valuable? Could you have one sitting unnoticed in your junk drawer right now? Keep watching, because what you're about to learn could put your name on the next big sellers list, and fair warning, you might never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's rewind to the year 2014. It was just another year for the US Mint. Billions of Lincoln pennies were pressed and released into circulation. Most were completely ordinary. But buried in that sea of copper-plated zinc was something extraordinary. A tiny number of 2014 Lincoln pennies came out with no mint mark, yet they weren't struck in Philadelphia, which is standard for no-mark coins. These were different. These had misalignments, double dies, and planchet errors so rare that coin collectors around the world started taking notice. What's so special about having no mint mark? Well, when it's combined with other rare characteristics, like doubled lettering on Lincoln's profile, a misaligned strike, or even an off-center mint, it becomes a jackpot for numismatists. Here's where it gets exciting. Point one of these pennies, discovered in near-perfect condition, was recently graded at MS68 red, a virtually flawless grade, and the final hammer price, a jaw-dropping $821,000. Think about it. 1 penny. Worth more than most houses in America. Now pause for a moment. When was the last time you actually looked, really looked, at your spare change, that coffee cup full of coins, that dusty jar on the kitchen shelf? Could it be hiding your next big break? And before you say, "Nah, I'd never be that lucky," consider this: neither did the man in Ohio who sold his 2014 penny for over $500,000. He was just sorting through coins for fun. Now, he's debt-free, retired early, and sipping margaritas in Florida. Not bad for a 1-cent investment. Let's be honest. You probably spent more on your last fast food meal than a rare penny is technically worth. But here's the kicker: your fries won't appreciate in value. Your coin just might, and no, licking the fries won't make them shine like an MS68 either. The secret behind these valuable 2014 pennies lies in 3 things: condition, rarity, and error types. Condition is king. If your coin looks like it's been chewed by a lawnmower, odds are, it's not a winner. But a crisp, shiny penny with full details and no visible wear, that's a contender. Rarity plays a massive role. Most people assume older means more valuable. But modern era coins like the 2014 no mint mark penny prove age isn't everything. Uniqueness is, finally, errors. Misprints. Double dies. Even a tiny off-center strike can boost the value by thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands. Coin collectors pay premiums for flaws. Kind of ironic, isn't it? The more messed up the penny, the more perfect it is, for your bank account. But here's the twist: you have to act fast. Why? Because the coin market is hot right now. Demand is climbing. Awareness is spreading. And with every new video, every new auction, more people are checking their coins and flooding the market. The window for top dollar sales is narrowing. So, what does this all mean for you? It means the moment you're done watching this video, you need to go find your change jar. Flip through those coin rolls. Check your couch cushions. And if you spot a 2014 penny with no mint mark, especially one with a strange error or brilliant shine, you may be holding the key to a life-changing fortune. You see, wealth doesn't always come in dollar bills or Bitcoin. Sometimes, it comes in copper. Quietly. Unexpectedly. And unless you pay attention, it passes you by. This is your moment to wake up. Take action. And step into the opportunity that most people will ignore, and don't stop at 1 penny. There are thousands of valuable coins out there: 1982, 1969, yes, 1992 close AM, but we'll cover those in upcoming videos. Here's what I want you to do now: check your coins. Then, subscribe, because in the next video, we're diving into a 1969 penny worth over $1 million, and almost nobody knows why. You don't want to miss that. Until then, keep looking, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the smallest things in your life bring the biggest rewards. Well, what if I told you there's a tiny copper coin from 2018, no bigger than a thumbnail, that recently sold for a jaw-dropping $811,000, yes. A modern Lincoln penny with a D mint mark. Still think pennies are worthless? Before you brush this off as just another coin story, let me ask you this: when was the last time you checked the loose change sitting in your kitchen drawer, because someone did, and that one moment flipped their financial life forever? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal how you can spot this rare 2018 D penny, why it's so valuable, and how to know if you're sitting on a fortune. But first, let's rewind a little. In 2018, the Denver Mint released millions of standard Lincoln pennies, same copper plating, same zinc core, same Abraham Lincoln profile, but a microscopic mistake, barely visible to the naked eye, turned a handful of these pennies into numismatic goldmines. Now, here's where it gets interesting. One man in Colorado, just an average coin collector, stumbled upon a strange-looking 2018 D penny in his pocket change. The coin had an extreme doubling on the date and mint mark, what collectors call a double die obverse. It looked as if the numbers were trembling, barely clinging to reality. Curious, he sent the penny to a top grading service, and the result, MS69 read that's mint state 69 with full red color, a near-perfect condition. And then came the shocker: that coin sold for $811,000 in a private auction. Now, let that sink in. That's not a 1909 SVDB. Not a 1943 copper penny. This was minted just a few years ago. Still think modern coins can't be valuable, so what makes this coin so special? It's all about rarity, condition, and timing. Pattern interrupt: ever tried to sell a used car and found out your old ashtray is worth more than the entire engine? Well, that's kind of what's happening with these pennies, but unlike cars, these coins don't depreciate, they appreciate rapidly. Only a few known examples of this 2018 D double die penny exist in top grade. Most are damaged, circulated, or simply lost in drawers and jars, and that's why collectors are scrambling to find even one. Here's the real kicker: more may still be out there, unfound, unclaimed, untouched. Let me ask you directly, have you checked your 2018 pennies lately? Go ahead. Dig into your coin jars. Check your old wallets. Look at every 2018 penny with AD under the date, and look closely. Do the numbers appear doubled? Does the coin shine like it was minted yesterday? If yes, you could be holding a 6 or even 7-figure fortune. Now, here's where things get urgent. Collectors and dealers are actively looking for these coins. Right now, the coin market is experiencing a surge. Interest is exploding. Demand is rising, but supply remains painfully limited. It's like real estate in a hot zip code: everyone wants in, but there's barely anything available. And here's something you should know: prices don't stay still. That $811,000 penny? If another one in similar condition hits the market this year, it might go even higher. Or it might not fetch the same. That's the game of rarity. Timing is everything. So what should you do if you find one? First, do not clean the coin. Second, store it in a soft, dry place like a coin flip or plastic case. Third, send it for professional grading. Reputable companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and preserve its value. And finally, connect with an auction house or a coin broker you trust, because let's be real, no one wants to undersell a coin that could pay off their mortgage, fund retirement, or buy a dream home. Cliffhanger. But wait, what if there's an even rarer version of this 2018 D penny that no one's discovered yet? I'll be covering that in my next video, so hit that subscribe button and don't miss what could be the most profitable coin tip of the year. You see, this isn't just about coins. This is about transforming your financial future from something uncertain into something powerful, because sometimes, all it takes is one penny to change everything. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone you care about. You never know, maybe they're the one sitting on a penny worth nearly $1 million. Stay sharp, stay curious, and check your change. Your future might just be hiding in plain sight.